What's up, everybody? A Spare with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Empyrion, Galactic Survival. When we left off in the last episode, we had not only completely moved most of our stuff over, other than a few machines and things that we didn't really need, to the advanced, or the mining? Why is that not showing up on my map now? It's the mining, yeah, there we go. So, to the mine, it's over that way, apparently, according to my map. But we also found this logistics building, which is pretty cool. Now, I did get a couple of comments from the last episode that I wanted to go over. Wilhelmus, I don't know if I'm saying that right, 1959 mentioned that if we wanted to get the growing plots out of these three areas, which I actually kind of do, the core is underneath the tallest building here. So if we dig down and blow it up, we should be able to get the growing plots, which is something I probably will do. The other two things that were mentioned was the way I did the rifle upgrade in the last episode of putting it in the constructor actually was the right way to do it. However, I didn't have any iron, and you actually need iron for it to work. So I was on the right track, just didn't have the right stuff, is basically what's going on there. The other factor was, I had mentioned at the very end, towards the very end of the last episode, when I jumped in the water, it seemed like I couldn't swim without my jetpack. I was just like, bleh. Well, apparently, that's because you have a weapon in your hand, and it makes you sink, which actually makes sense, because if you had a weapon in your hand, you couldn't swim around. So that was cool. The other thing was, the other comment was from Runa Grace. Again, I hope I'm saying that, I have no idea. But they said that it would probably be a good idea, and I concur, that at the mining base, there's a lot of extra stuff that I don't really need. So they suggested to actually use the multi-tool on the deconstruct setting rather than disassemble, and it would break down some of those unneeded things and just give me raw materials. I didn't think about that, but it is a very good idea. Okay, so let's get, let's dig down here a bit and see if we can find the core. I think I see it, actually. Yep, there it is. The core. Alright, now, can I place a charge on there? Let's go down a little bit more. I do kind of wish there was a crouch mechanic in the game. Alright, let's see if that does the trick. We're good. Looky there. Alrighty. So, with that in mind, I think we should... Now, I do want to actually set this to disassemble and not deconstruct. But we should... Haha! Oh, except I have no room for them. That's not good. So I'm going to have to probably eat some stuff to get a spot, because I think we're full. But I'm going to collect these growing plots, and then we're going to head back to the mining base. Okay, so I managed to do that. Now, unfortunately, it only gave me 2 of the plots. The rest it broke down into plant fiber, steel, and nutrient supplement, but that's not a big deal. At least we have what we need to make them. So we can restore them, at least, which is pretty cool. Alright, so it should be off in this direction. I don't know why it's not coming up on our map waypoint stuff, really. That looks like it over there, actually. I think. It is! Huzzah! So, yeah, we could do... I think we might do some gardening type thing today and set up the base a little bit better to be more, I don't know, more self-sustaining. Probably be a good term. And actually, now that I think about it, I should also recover my hydrogen production thing from the other base. Now that I think about it. Plant fiber. Okay, so we don't really need to worry about that. Where's the constructor? That's what I need. So the constructor... Or this constructor. Here we go. So we're going to throw the steel plates, the fiber, and the nutrient. Wait, no. That goes into the kitchen, doesn't it? Crap. Alright, give me this back. Give me that back. Give me that back. Wasn't it the kitchen? Or food processor? Yep, there it is. And I don't know if there's any real benefit to the steel, wood, or concrete growing plots other than just the idea that it's like let's just make as many of those as you can make. Other than just it would be easier depending on what kind of tier of materials you're looking at. That could help. Now, the question at hand, where do we actually want to set up our farms? I don't think we want to set them up in here. This is kind of like the main office kind of thing, per se, as far as we have our locker room there. And, you know, the cloning bay and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really think we want to set it up here. We got the constructors and things. I always do that. I always fall down that step for some reason. How many did we end up getting? 6? Oh, no, it's still making them. I was gonna say, there's a lot of stuff there. How many does it take? Wow, it's 1... Okay, so if we think about it, now that I'm thinking about it, wait, where'd the other one? There. We recovered, I think they were in 3x3 plots, so that's 9, and 3 9s are 27. So we should have around 27 of them in total. So that's pretty good. We're probably going to set them up in a similar fashion of 3x3. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh, you know what we could do? This is kind of the... Huh? What am I getting irradiated from? I wonder, is it because... I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why I'm getting rads down here. That's new. Is it this alien block stuff? Is it giving off radiation? Did it do that before? I'm very confused. Alright. Ooh, steel plates. Hardened steel plates. You know what? I came down here in heavy armor before. Heavy armor probably has a higher radiation tolerance. Oh. That's unexpected. Okay. Okay. That's actually kind of cool, though. It gives you different reasons to do things. That and what does my upgrade do? It doesn't do anything to radiation resistance, but still, that's probably what it is. Let's go back to our armor locker and switch over to our heavy stuff. Heavy. Radiation is up to 16, and this one is 4. So that must have been what it was. Okay, and we're going to throw these in there as well. Does this... That adds to radiation. Let's just make this tank armor, basically. Jetpack boost. These look to be the same. So let's do that, I guess. EVA boost. I could do a mobility, but I don't really know how much that actually helps. This is good. This thing's gonna be a tank now, basically. Like, let's even try the jump pack. Yeah, barely anything. That's funny. Okay, I also want to fix that. That was bothering me. But yeah, yep, there we go. Oh, we got 34. That's more than I expected. Plant fiber will leave in there. The steel plates I probably should put back in the constructor, though. Because we're going to need that for stuff. Alright, so this is walking like normal speed. And this is my running speed. I literally see barely any difference between the two. Oh, wow! Hold on. Oh, for a minute it looked like my stamina was going down just when I was walking. I guess it was because I had the... You have to let off the shift key and then stop walking before it resets. Huh. Interesting. I'm not really sure about the whole walking, moving thing, but I definitely do not feel like I'm going any faster. Yeah, see, now we're fine. Okay. That's actually really cool. And we have quite a few charges on our multi-tool at this point. And I'm also thinking of applying this strategy to the logistics facility where I might just break everything down if I need more steel and iron and stuff like that, is I might just grab it all from another source, because we're getting pretty good amounts of things. Alright, so what goes... I'm trying to find a good spot for like a plant area. This doesn't look too bad. But there's not much room here in terms of doing... What do we have now? 34? We could do multiple rooms. Like, we could do... Let's try this. We're gonna experiment in this room first. Man, there's a lot of this alien crap everywhere. They, like, hardcore infested this mine. Jeez. It is literally everywhere. Oh, wait a minute. This leads into the oh man, this is gonna be a project and a half. I'm going to need more than 11 charges to clear this out. Hey, wait a minute. Why did it just go to 9? Did I accidentally reload twice and it just consumed it? That's stupid. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so let's grab you. We're gonna do one here, one here. We'll get rid of that, and we'll get rid of this. And what I'm thinking is of doing this on both sides and leaving the catwalk area is kind of my theory. Oh, where's this go? Is this the vents? This must be the vents. Okay. And we might need 2 separate grow lights. I'm not sure yet. We might need like one here and one here or something to cover all the... I don't know. I'm not really sure how that works. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12. And I think this room is the same dimensions. Yeah. So 12 in each room. That would give us 24. I think that's a pretty good... I think that would be a pretty good setup. I don't know, again, like how the growing lights will work and such, but I think that's a pretty good setup for now. I mean, yes, we have 32 or whatever it was. But I'm okay with that. Okay, so I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is that the growing plot things worked out pretty well. The bad news is there is a crap load of this alien block stuff. I'm down to 4 charges and I finally just gave up. I was like, I can't. Just can't do it anymore. So what I'm gonna do, hardened steel. All this is hardened steel. I'm not gonna use hardened, I don't think, because to me there's kind of no point. And what I mean by that is basically just that, like, down in the bottom there, I'm not worried about it being super defendable or anything like that. So it really doesn't matter to me. If it's hardened block or regular steel, and I have a ton of steel plates now. I have over 1,000 steel plates from that. So, needless to say, that we're doing pretty good in the metal department. So, we need base blocks. Let's set this to base. Hardened steel, steel. That requires 10. So rough math, that should be about 100, I think. So let's find out. Let's just have it make a bunch. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is switch out of my heavy armor and go to medium, because I haven't seen it go above 6 on the radiation scale, and the medium can do 8. So we should be able to walk around irradiated just fine. And for this one, insulation boost. No, I'm not worried about that. Let's throw a jetpack boost on there. I don't know, maybe a mobility one? Might work better, or might work pretty good. Yeah, let's do that. And for now, I think that'll be fine. So we'll leave it that way. The other thing is I need to throw some of this stuff in the constructor here. This is all like component stuff, things, whatever. Like that. What are we doing on this? This is going pretty good. We're going to take what we have there. Oh, right, all this is components too. Duh. I'm going to throw the biofuel in there just because I don't remember what that's actually for. Go ahead and eat that. We'll throw the corn in the fridge. And I guess I'm supposed to put the... crystals here in there as well. Where was the, weapons? I'm looking for... I don't know, maybe it is under all. I was looking for... Oh, maybe I don't have the upgrade for it. I was going to say I was looking for where the fuel that everybody was talking about before with the crystals came from, but I don't actually see it, and that's probably because I haven't unlocked it yet. Would be a good guess, I think. Yeah, so we're doing pretty good on the steel. We'll leave that there. Oh, I need to make a growing light, don't I? Is that in the food processor? Or do you make that in the... I think you make that in the constructor, like everything else. Components... Here we go. There we go. Growing light. Metal component, glass plate. Let's do... 4? Let's start with 4. And see how that goes. Okay, so... what I'm going to try and do is kind of follow this walkway here. And I don't know if I can actually make the same texture or not, but I did go ahead and take the liberty of making myself a texture tool so we can kind of figure that out and see how that goes. Apparently that didn't have a walkway to it. First I want to see how these growing lights do, and I wish there was a better way to see if they work than just, you know, trial and error, and just see if the plants grow kind of thing. But as far as I know, there really isn't a better way to do that. I guess I could put it... let's put one there. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna affect all of these. I think we're gonna have to do... like this. So I'm going to need 4 more of them, I think, to properly light this area. More than likely. We might as well take these down while we're here, though. And I just noticed they're giving me 10 plates apiece, so that's a few more steel blocks that we have to work with. One thing I'm also trying to figure out is how much of the alien stuff do we really have to get rid of in order for it to, balance out, basically. And not irradiate us every time we're walking through our base. So let's see, if I'm standing over here, I'm not picking up any radiation. How about here? So maybe it's only 1 block deep, which would be cool. Okay. So what are they using? I think it's this one? Kind of. But it's facing the other way. Seems determined to be the wrong direction. I wonder if there's... I don't think there's a way to rotate the pattern. Symbols. I wonder, apply to whole block, maybe? Would that... How about this? Let's not do... Well, let's turn the symbol off and apply to whole block. And that should make it like that. Now, turn that back off, turn this back on. But if I hit it from this angle... Nope. Okay, that's just weird. That's just weird. Because there's no real way to rotate the block, really. I mean, there is, but there isn't. Oh, wait a minute, maybe there is. Hold on. Rotate. Ow. What buttons do what again? Insert home. Okay, so it's like the same... Ah, okay. We have outsmarted the game. Aha. So there. And that's actually fine. Though, I may end up changing this pattern if it's going to be actually the junction pattern, so to speak. Is there a more uniform direction? That one kind of is. Oh, maybe this? That works. I think that looks better. Let's do that. For, like, the junction point. You'll have to let me know what you guys think, but I think that works, and I might even apply it to this kind of stuff. I don't know why this pattern just stopped. That's kind of weird. Oh, probably because they didn't know how to make this work, I guess. I don't know. Not really sure why this pattern was the way that it was. Okay, that's better. I like that better. It matches this. Yeah, I think that flows a lot better. Okay, so that's taken care of. Now, we're just gonna place these blocks in here. And I'm kind of taking the need approach to... Nope. Crap. Oh well. I'm kind of thinking of taking the need approach to the building and dismantling of this area. Kind of like, if I need to, I will. And if I don't, like, actually I probably didn't even need to be putting stuff under the walls, really. And I do think eventually, now let me know what you guys think as far as what the most efficient way, and we can just marry this in like nothing ever happened. This is just all one floor, don't you know? You guys can let me know though what you guys think is the most efficient way to deconstruct some things, because I'm running out of charges like whoa. But one thing I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of doing it like I want to dismantle the logistics center, I think, is my next harvesting spot, because I'm kind of fixing this base up from where we had kind of demolished it, or where I had removed alien block and things like that, but ultimately I don't want to waste a ton of block when I could be putting these large blocks into building a bigger ship, for example. Kind of like we had been planning on doing, and probably will do, is to build a capital ship that becomes a flying base kind of thing. I really do like that idea. Do I get irradiated here? I do. So it is that alien block that's giving off the radiation. Just to keep things uniform, I may change this up. I'm thinking. There's a lot of detail you can put into this stuff. I gotta give them that. When you compare Empyrion to Space Engineers, there is a lot more detail and a design element to Empyrion, where Space Engineers tends to have a lot of the same. They're getting there, but they tend to have a bigger focus on like the building stuff. And this one has like, you can do a lot more decoration just with all the same blocks. Like, all these are the same blocks. And I think that's really cool. Oops, did I miss you? I did. Okay. I keep noticing these little bubbles in the floor, and then I realize it's because they're damaged or something, and it's like, oh, right. But yeah, so I'm kind of thinking my next step is to dismantle the logistics center, because that would give me a ton of resources that I could actually allocate to kind of building my capital ship design idea. Because that's really what I would like to do. I would like to do a capital ship as like my base kind of thing, like a flying mobile base. And then this is turning into what would end up being basically my base on Asuka or whatever it is. And it's like where you would resupply and all that kind of stuff for your capital ship if it needed it. And this would be where you did like most of your supplies and things like that. But ultimately, I would like the capital ship to be the one that's actually the more like used kind of thing. Like do a lot more with that one, because that would let me, if that was a mobile base, it would basically just let me fly around. I wouldn't have to do a lot. Now, the one caveat, I don't know, a lot of you guys that are more familiar with Empyrion's ecosystem could probably explain it to me a little bit better, or come up with a way for it to work. The one caveat is oxygen. Because as far as I know, the only way to make oxygen is to have a water source, and I don't think you can transport water. What I mean by that is you can put growing plots on a ship, and so you have food, but I don't think you can have like a pool that then you put an oxygen generator in for it to pull oxygen out of the water. I don't think there's a way to do that. If there is, please correct me, because that would actually be really cool to find out that you can do that. Wow, I did a pretty good park. I made a pretty good parking job right there. So yeah, if there's a way to do that, let me know, because that would actually make a capital ship completely self-sustaining, which would be cool to me. I mean, everybody who has seen anything that I do, particularly anything Minecraft related, I'm always trying to do self-sufficient stuff. I mean, even Space Engineers, I hate reactors. I always want to use solar panels and stuff. It just bothers me. I don't like thinking that at some point I could run out of gas, basically. Materials for building is one thing, but when it comes to, you know, oxygen and water and food and all the things you basically just need to keep your functions going, that I don't like feeling like I can run out of. And sometimes I've been at odds with game designs that were all about there is no way to always be self-sufficient and you're always fighting the elements. Personally, I don't enjoy games that do that much. I like to feel like... Alright, here's my stance on it. I like stuff that makes it difficult at the beginning. You're surviving, you crashed, you're dying, you're starving, whatever. But when you get to like endgame level, when you're at the point where you're like, okay, I've mined for hours, I've built up my base, I've got everything that I need, but I still keep running out of supplies, you know, or I still keep having to go mine for the most basic things. That to me bugs me. I don't mind how difficult you make it. I don't mind how, like personally, and again, a lot of things with your, how do I put this? I guess your investment in a game or your enjoyment factor, a lot of it does come down to just personal taste. It's just, I like this, I don't like that kind of thing. It's kind of like anything with TV shows, movies. There's kind of like a general consensus where most everybody agrees that A is a certain way to do it and B is a certain way you shouldn't do it. But there are people that like it one way and don't like it the other. So some of it does come down to personal taste. Actually, a lot of it comes down to personal taste. But like I said, there are some games that encourage the whole you'll never really get a leg up kind of thing. You're always going to be fighting the elements kind of thing. And I just don't like that. It's not as enjoyable. It also doesn't encourage the creativity of always expanding and always trying to take on a bigger project because you're always too busy trying to keep yourself afloat. And that's fine for real life survival if you crashed on an island to keep yourself alive. But for a game, I just feel like it should be focused more on the enjoyment factor, not the... I know there's games that are a survival genre, but that's just me. So one thing is, it's like, I personally love that they did a hydrogen power cell to where you can put a hydrogen thing in the water, you get oxygen, you get hydrogen, and you can take the hydrogen and make fuel cells. I love that because without a solar panel, that's kind of this game's version of self-sufficiency. The caveat to that is the hydrogen plant has to be run off of promethium cells. I don't like that because now I'm not self-sufficient. I still have to go mine for promethium kind of thing. So anyways, I'm getting into a little bit of a rant here, but my point is I like self-sufficient stuff, so if there is a way to make a capital ship entirely self-sufficient, I would love to hear about it, because I think that would be awesome. Hello? Okay. Interesting. Oh! I clicked the wrong thing. I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? I thought that was the one I'd been clicking. It was not. So yeah. But now that we've done some interior decorating and got some growing plants going, I think, even though I haven't grown anything on it, I think we're going to wrap things up here for this episode. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace!